Here with Northwestern State head coach Chris Bertrand, the Demons with a very quick stopover at home before resuming a stretch of 6 games and 7 on the road. Coach, coming out of Nichols, it just was more of the same from the Southland this year. Teams are winning on the road, and we'll talk about that later. But what specifically did those 2 wins do for your team?
Yeah, I think home or road, right? Like, I don't know that the venue or the stadium so much matters as much as the continual growth and development of our team. And I think that's what you really kind of take out of it is the way in which we went down and in the first 2 days played against such a quality opponent, against such quality starting pitching, in the way that we came up with a game plan and executed a game plan to score runs in those 2 nights. The way in which both of the first 2 ball games kind of went back and forth, so to speak, and we continued to respond, we continued to fight. I think there's so many lessons that you take from it that we're going to be able to use this week and going to be able to use further into the future. We're continuing to learn about our ball club, we're continuing to learn about our players, and we're continuing to, as a team, learn the lessons necessary that give us things that we can use moving forward. So honestly, I think that's what you take out of it. Continue to be proud of our guys for the way in which we are growing, the way in which we are developing, the way in which we are being about what we say we want to be about. And I think that's really the coolest part about letting them experience those.
Continued growth. We'll talk about that as we head into previewing LSUA real quick. Not the start you wanted on Sunday from Dylan Marino, but there's an opportunity when you've got to get 23 more outs for some of those guys that haven't pitched in a while to come in. Some of those guys looked really good, and you'll have to rely on some of them again Tuesday night.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, man, the name or the face doesn't particularly matter, right? We want our pitchers to go out each time, and we want them to, again, continue to grow and learn and develop. And even when we fail, right, even when it's not necessarily the best one, what can we take from it that each of those guys are going to use moving forward? And so in Dylan's case, or in anybody's case who didn't have the best day on Sunday, how are they going to take what happened to them and use it tomorrow night? How are they going to take it and use it this weekend against UIW, right? And so for us, man, the names and the faces don't necessarily matter. We want to continue to learn and grow as a pitching staff. We want to continue to sharpen the things that we do well, and we want to continue to try to get better at the things that maybe we're not doing so well. And we want everybody on the roster, right? 1 through 40, we want everybody on the roster as far as the pitchers goes, 1 through 20. We want everybody to learn something each time out, whether that's you individually or learning from the teammates or learning from what the game gives us, right? There's so many things that we can take from the successes and the failures and continue to use to make what is essentially the last 18 ball games of the season, right? We need to make the next 18 ball games of the season the best that we can possibly make it.
And that starts against an LSUA team that's going to come in here and not that you didn't know it from having played from Mike Burns at LC, but when that happened about a month ago, you learned that these teams come in here and you don't look at the level they played. They are capable of challenging and possibly coming away with a win.
There's no labels. Good baseball is good baseball. And good baseball coaches are good baseball coaches. And Cody is an incredible baseball coach, and he's going to come in here with a really good baseball team. And they are doing the same thing at their point in the season that everybody else around the country, including the Demons, are doing, right? They're trying to press good buttons. They're trying to learn about their teams. They're trying to, in his particular case, get ready for their own postseason run. And these are games that matter and the things that he can take from it. And so, listen, the labels don't matter. That's an incredible man who's going to come here with a really good baseball team. And we need to welcome the challenge of going to war with it and taking everything that we can, physically and mentally and life lessons. We need to take everything we can out of it. And so, no, man, we're focused on tomorrow night and on tomorrow night alone. And then we're going to deal with that one, and then we can move on from it. But we fully expect Cody to come here and give us everything that we can handle, man.
And part of that learning for you is playing clean baseball. You've talked about it. When you guys play clean, and it sounds almost simple to say. Yeah, but you play – when you play clean, you give yourself a chance, and you saw that Friday and Saturday. And then when you don't play as clean, you saw what happened on Sunday. And that goes for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever you play.
Yeah. And not only does it go in that manner, but it goes that way for everybody, not just the Demons, right? You look at, I think you mentioned about the road games and the whatever. I think it's everybody in the conference, but it's everybody in the country, man. Is that when you have capabilities, when you have the necessary tools and skills and talents, then it truly becomes about execution. And in our case, we like the word clean execution. But you're exactly right, man. Trying to get our guys into the right mindset, trying to get our guys into a frame of mind where we can bring that mindset consistently, right? Day in and day out, right? How can I as a leader and I as a coach pull that out of my team? Like, that's where the challenge comes from, is how can you consistently and confidently pull that out of your team and go out and execute a clean brand of baseball. We have really good pitchers who compete their tails off, and when they're doing it the right way in the strike zone, the Demons have success. We have a more than capable offense, and I think we have proven that. And when we're stringing together good at-bats, and when we're creating opportunities and pressurizing and cashing in on some of those opportunities, then we are more than capable of doing it, right? Same thing on the defensive end of it. We have capable defenders, and we know how we need to go about doing it. We just have to execute cleanly in all aspects. But listen, that's the Demons, and that's LSU Alexandria, and that's UIW this weekend, and that's everybody across the country, is we're learning that there's a lot of parity in our game when it comes to talent. There's a lot of parity in the competition and the love of the game. It truly becomes about who can execute clean baseball the most consistently and the most confidently, and I hope that our team is starting to turn the corner in that area.
Went down to Nichols this past weekend, won your second straight road series in conference play, and that typically is an outlier. This year, however, throughout the conference, it's been more the norm. Have you seen anything like this? Certainly in your time here in the Southland, it's typically been a home-dominated league, but maybe anywhere in your career?
No, not particularly. And listen, again, we try not to put too much emphasis into it. It's a conversation worth having, and it's definitely, there's something, to it. But at the same time, trying to maybe, once you kind of talk about it and get away from it, it's just a circumstance, Again, we try to tell our guys that no matter the venue, no matter home away, no matter what time he says play ball, no matter, right? Like the weather, it does. Once he says play ball, the Demons are going to put their fists up and fight. And we like to focus more in that particular mindset. But as a fan, or like you say, as a coach who has some experience in the league, it's a very unique, something's going on, right? It's a very unique thing, So I don't know other than to just try to teach our team about it and how we can use it, or in some cases how we can block it out. But being that you got a road series coming up this weekend, I hope it continues, right? Yeah.
And you'll do it against a team that is coming off a road sweep. Yeah. So, here we go with this flip-flop. You don't know who's going to be on top or who's going to be in the middle or who's going to be where they are at any time. But UIW is a team that traditionally has been very good at home.
Very good.
And it's a tough place to go in. You've seen it. You've seen the Demons go in and win a series. You've seen it be the other way around, too. What do you see from UIW this year, and what's it going to take to go into San Antonio and come out feeling pretty good?
Yeah, I think you're going to see a team that is, again, very highly competitive, very comfortable in their own ballpark. I think you see a team that has a quality set of starting pitchers, and they have some experience in that area. We know that they have some experience coming out of their bullpen. We know that, obviously, they bring a more than capable offense. I think that it's an extremely efficient, it's a bat-to-ball type of offense, man. Like, those guys grind through at-bats. They're really hard to get out. They make themselves tough outs up and down the lineup. They put pressure on you, and so we're going to have to throw strikes, and we're going to have to play clean defense. We're going to have to do all of the things that we mentioned because, again, we know the quality of the opponent, we know the quality of the coaching, and we know the level of experience that they bring in all areas of the game, man. And so we have to welcome that competition, and we have to use every lesson that we have learned along the way to try to go and battle out and come out as best we can.
Coach, as always, thanks for your time.